Howdy, and welcome back to Disco Elysium with Wickedstorm Gaming. We gotta be getting close to the end of the game at this point. This guy just confessed to everything. Though, to be fair, people confess to everything at the start of the game, too, so it means fuck all.
She practically breastfed that man.
Oh, no.
You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
You kinky bitch.
You stare at them too. In your mind, her innocence day still turns to leaf. Airport bag in hand, silks flowing in her wake.
I don't think that's the same woman, but okay.
See you tomorrow, Harry. Her voice rings in the evening air, burning.
The world is insane.
You had feelings for her.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes, the day after I killed him.
Well, gee, I wonder why she was fucking crying.
Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. Maybe, I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
It's a good thing I didn't come here 10 years ago, then.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you. Once, one more down.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Rivershell, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lausanne Central Aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft.
What's actually crazy thinking about it now, like in hindsight, like someone was murdered in her room and they didn't change her room. Right? Isn't that just weird as hell? You think they would have put her in a different room at the very least, if not an entirely different building.
On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving, for another, far south. Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Street lights, towers, tenements and water, and across it a dark strip of ruins, barely visible if she didn't squint her eyes. There, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. The ruins of a seafort stick out of the water, built by Philippe II, reappropriated by the Commune, then lost in the landing. He's there, doing what exactly I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him.
So they're just standing over there, like, watching the island?
Special Consultant Heidelstein is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place. Where? His voice trails off as the three walk down the jetty.
It's still just wild that I just know this stuff.
As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
You could get more out of him. He likes talking.
Well, it's always got less. I don't think he's talked to anybody in probably 10 years.
Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst. Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries, pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals. Like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Quayamorang, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores.
Ominous mumbling, huh?
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June.
How's it not a working class game? It's just a bunch of balls. Like, that is just... There's no way that's expensive.
Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A petanque maniac race traitor. What is there to be agitated about?
Whoop, I set him off.
The unholy ghoul. I love it there. It reminds me of everything we fought for. At least we killed Afistel and his kingsman. Whores.
Okay.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses. That deformed toad.
I told you he was a toad.
I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean,
That's
the
an
brains
unfortunate
of the
thought.
operation. The smart one. That mobster toad couldn't run a shithouse. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare, that one's been to one of those East Revachol universities. He talks a big game about uprising and alienation and so on. First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Could have mentioned him.
Of course.
At any
Maybe the
fucking point.
Clares asked him to. Don't go straight for the kill. Exhaust everything else first. Soften him up.
I haven't approached anyone. I've hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then. Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzov. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzov. Oh, and charity, too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this. You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Oh no, the
Yeah, I
connection
didn't
doesn't
think so.
come to you
I
on
didn't
such
think
a
so.
pivotal moment. Slap yourself in the head again. Jumpstart it.
It's gonna concern Kim.
Officer,
Hmm.
Mr. Dross, about this deal you made with Edgar.
That's
The
gonna
death
freak
of
Kim
the
out a bit.
criminal mercenary was only coincidentally beneficial to the Clares. But what about the other people you've killed for them?
Other people?
Like the previous 4 women of the Union.
That's it. That's what you weren't connecting yourself.
See, this is why we keep Kim
I
around.
didn't fight 40 years to end up an informant for the international regime. What happened, happened.
Still dumb. Your eyes are transfixed on his digit. It's yellow with nicotine.
Look who's up. From the drunken stupor. This one's worse for wear than me. Emotionally frayed. Life is hard for us human beings in deregulation hell, isn't it?
We will have plenty of time to talk about this later, Mr. Dross. When you're in pre-detention. It can take years in pre-detention.
Go ahead. I've been in solitary confinement my whole life.
Ease off it. This was not an unmitigated disaster. The lieutenant mitigated it. Just proceed, calmly.
Glad? It's all gone.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit. He's clearly a drug user of the painkiller sort, prone to erratic hand gestures, and malnourished. But that's it. The moment passes, and you say,
And I say I'm going to go put more points in composure. This is why I've been saving up all this. Well, goddamn, I could get a lot of this. Level up! Yay!
hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched.
Huh?
The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
The hell are you talking about?
Maggot sideways? What are you talking
I
about?
have no fucking idea.
You need to maggot up.
Sideways.
You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already, and the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium. Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system.
You somehow doubt that.
Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that too. Alcohol is not the problem.
I mean, it's certainly part of it.
And it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine.
It's probably part of it
Nor
too.
smoking for 40 years.
That's definitely part
It's
of
the
it.
lack of magnesium.
Mm.
And
You're fucking crazy,
the
Nijay.
old man
Do it!
stares aside from the rare erratic hand gesture, smacking his lips and despondently
Damn.
staring at
One more time!
the old man stares despondently at the logs. What strikes
There
you
it is.
about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile. Is this some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
You said you take painkillers.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers because they have pain. Untreated illnesses. Not enough money for a greedy doctor.
It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
Like some kind of decadent rock star. No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
You're alone on an island.
There it is again, erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
Okay. For what?
His lip curls into a sneer.
Glad?
Yeah.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Taken to the what?
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around
We
you.
told him he'd be
Little
taken like
shivers
arrested.
of waves appear. The lieutenant continues. like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But
Kimmy's afraid.
no, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his
I have
forehead.
to stay here.
Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Fuck.
Maybe we could all fit in there. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
There's something you're not getting here that he's realizing.
who watches over him there while I come back for you?
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
Who the fuck is Lillian?
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen
We
now.
could send Kim back with the boat. He could call for reinforcements, and then when reinforcements get here, he could come back to pick me, the old man, up. But there's something here we haven't seen, man.
Actually, no.
Shit. Well, for now, like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want, share it if you can, and do what you want. Might have flipped a coin for this. And check out the Patreon if you want to support the channel. I'll see you next time. Have fun.